My name is Andrea Hansen, and I'm super excited to get to share with you a really fun method of curling today. I like to call it my beach wave curl, and who doesn't love a beach wave, especially with summer coming up? So get practicing now so that when you hit those beaches or pretend beaches, wherever you're at, you can get this fantastic look. We'll be using my mannequin head Mia today to show you on. So, all right, let's get started. All right, so Mia has actually already been curled somewhat with this curl, so you can kind of see the results of doing this curl already in her hair. I am using my Apple Watch to help me record it, so I apologize for the little bits of my arm that you get in here, but I'll try my best to give you angles which you can see best what I'm doing. So what we want to do is we take a strand of hair and we actually put it into the curling iron towards the root, and we wrap it around it once, and then we're going to slide it out without unclamping it, and then we're going to wrap it around again, and as soon as it's been around once, we slide it out again without unclamping it, and then a third time, and then we let go. So right now it kind of gives the appearance of a ringlet that's been flattened a little bit. So let me show that again. Make sure that my arm isn't in the way. We'll do this front one right here. So we take the hair as close to the root as possible. We wrap it around once, and then we slide it out of that without unclamping. Wrap it around again, slide it around, slide it out, and wrap again. So what you're creating is, in effect, a ringlet in the curling iron, but you're flattening it. So you're going to create a ringlet, and then by sliding it out, you're flattening it. And you create that ringlet, and you slide it out, and it flattens it, and then again at the end. And the ends are a little bit different than the rest of it. The ends, you kind of just glide them through. And the reason for this is because if you were to incorporate all of the ends into it, it would actually create more of a, let's see if I can get a little bit of a closer up there, more of an effect of just a ringlet instead of a flat ringlet. And the flat ringlet is what creates that beach wave. So the first few times you do this, it's gonna seem a little bit tricky, and that is okay. Everything takes a little bit of practice, right? But you want to start it as close to that root as possible and twist it around and then slide it out without unclamping it. And every time you twist it around and slide it out, you are creating that flat wave. I'm sorry, the flat curl, which creates a wave. So we'll just do this whole section here. And I am taking kind of a horizontal section with each of these, which is kind of funny because typically when you do ringlets, you think of doing it vertically up and down. But just for ease, you can absolutely do this section horizontally. Well, you're still taking vertical sections, but you're kind of pulling the curling iron horizontally for it. And if I was actually doing this on a real head, I would probably do it in about 3 sections. I would do the bottom section, and then I would do a middle section, and then I would finally do the top section. And I wouldn't worry as much about curling that bottom section perfect as I would about doing the top section to be really what I wanted. The bottom sections typically has shorter hairs, and they're gonna be a little bit harder to curl. So if we zoom this back out again, and you can see the full head here, well, the full part of this head that I just did. As I run my fingers through it, you can see the quality of the curls, and they're quite pretty. And the more that you brush this, the more of this wave type of curl you're gonna get, and the softer and softer it'll be. So you have the control over how soft you want it to be. If you love it like that, then just running your fingers through it is gonna do it for you. The other thing with this method is that you want to use like a 1-inch curling iron. I have tried this with a 1 1/4, which is typically what I would use. But unfortunately, it didn't give much of a beach wave. It gave, I shouldn't say that. It did give a wave, but it was so loose, it was almost like you didn't do anything to it. So if you're looking at this thinking, oh, that's too tight, maybe a 1 1/4 would be the way to go for you. I would not do bigger than 1 1/4. I feel like you're gonna be working too hard and you're not gonna get the results you want. I have noticed on people with like virgin hair, which means no color or anything like that, it's never been treated. My daughter has really long, thick hair, and I tried the 1 1/4 inch on her and it didn't really take. But I did do the 1 inch on her and it took beautifully. It just took a little bit longer because I had to do so many more loops through there. But the thing you want to remember with this is, as many times as I've done this and I've taught it to clients, the thing to remember is that each time you wrap it around the curling rod, you want to slide it out. And you're not, like if I were to slide it out all the way, this is what it would look like. And that's not what we're doing, that's not what we're going for. You're just sliding out that curl from being around the rod. So all of a sudden it's not on the rod anymore. As soon as it gets to the end of that rod, you stop and you twist it around again, and then you pull it off. You twist it around again and you slide it off till you're all the way at the end. So if your curls look like this, which is somewhat flattened, you're exactly doing it right. And you, depending on how quickly, I like my curls to cool. If they're cool and then you run your fingers through them, then the curl is gonna bounce back a little bit. If you find your hair takes curl really easily and you don't necessarily want it to bounce back too much, do it when it's warm. Pull it through there and it loosens it in that regard. So you can see that one that I just did ends up being a lot looser than the other ones that I did because I pulled it out when it was hot. So those are some little tricks that you can do to help yourself achieve that curl. But really, it's super simple. It's just a matter of trying to get the method right on yourself and how to get yourself to undo it without undoing the whole thing. So remember to loop it around once and then pull it out, but do not unclamp it. You don't really have to, you're just sliding it through there. So I don't lift my thumb, I don't lift the pressure or anything while I'm doing that. So hopefully this video has been helpful to you. This also was done not too long ago, and you can see it's relaxed quite a bit, but it just has such a beautiful wave to it. So one other thing I wanted to share with you is if you do it tighter like this and you want that 50s glam look, that is something I discovered by using the 1 1/4 inch. If you make every single strand have the exact same amount of loops, so with my mannequin, I found I can loop it around 3 times before I get to the end. So depending on how long your hair is, I would say this length of hair would be best to do it on, as far as this particular trick I'm going to show you. So if you want that 50s glam look, if you've got super long hair, you're not going to be able to get it with this. This is mainly for my shoulder length friends, all right? So you want to take it and do it just like you were, but you want to make sure that every single strand that you take has the exact same number of loops. So there's 3. So I'll count them for you on the next one that I do. So here we go. There's 1, pull it out, 2, slide it out, and 3, there's the end. So each time you do it, and we'll do it over here because I haven't done any on this side. Okay, so each section, you just want to take the same 1, 2, 3. Okay, and that one was almost 4 just from the very ends. But if you consistently do the same number, 1, 2, 3, and a little bit left over there. And we'll do, for an example, I'll give you one more here. 1, slide it out, 2, slide it out, 3, slide it out with the ends there. All right, so, and maybe just this section right here in front of the ear so it all kind of consistently looks like what I'm going for. 1, slide it out, 2, slide out, 3, slide out. Okay, so you want to make sure these are cooled. So we've all seen those like 50s waves that do this really cool thing. Well, I have found that with this one, if you consistently do that, you will actually get kind of that pin curl pattern. Now it's not exact, but you can brush it and really, and you can start to see those wave patterns becoming the same. So if I were to use a brush on it, I could kind of brush it into that 50s pattern. Look at that, isn't that pretty? And so you could, if you were doing something really hot for the night, you could just kind of put your hairspray in there and make it more sleek, and then have the ends just be more of that messier look. And then you've got that 50s glam going on with a little bit more of the edginess to it. So anyway, I hope that you found this video, there we go, just zoom it out there. I hope you found this video helpful, and I hope that you're having a great day. If you have any questions about it, please don't hesitate to write me and let me know. I can't claim stake on this. I saw another hairdresser do it just briefly. She wasn't teaching it by any means, but I just thought, that is the coolest. And I started doing it on my clients and practicing it, and they loved it. And so hopefully now you can use it in your home with this video and do it along with me. And again, if you have questions while you're doing it alongside me, please text me or send me messages on YouTube and let me know what you think. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.